Talk about coming in here with this new program. Obviously, we're setting things up in a different way. Talk about just your thoughts after spring practice, getting ready for the fall.
You know, we had a lot of fun. This transition for us was really, really neat. You come into a place like James Madison that, you know, people have invested a lot of effort into making this program one of the premier programs in 1AA football. So as a coaching staff, we knew that, you know, they didn't expect us to come in here and be average, you know, and that's really neat. You know, as a coach, you want to coach at a place that's high stakes, that people are invested in and want to see you be successful. So, you know, we came in, you know, really just wanting to teach the kids how to work. You look at what these guys have done in the past, the body of work that this current team has done, and they were always really close. Really close, and it's not a talent issue that came down to why this team has not been able to go to the postseason. It's been more of a discipline deal. You know, it's been more of their approach to the game mentally. You know, some of the things we brought in with these guys, teaching them how to work and how to compete. A lot of the kids thought it was really cutting edge, and it's really not. It's what great teams across the country do. It's what the Alabamas of the world do, the Ohio States of the world, you know, the Texas A&Ms, the LSUs. That's what these guys do. And so, you know, fortunately, Coach Withers is a guy that's been around football at the highest level. You know, he's had a chance to learn from some great head coaches, and, you know, I knew as a position coach when I had a chance to work for him that he was going to bring in, you know, a culture that was going to just take the level of play of our players to a whole other level. So come out of spring ball really excited. You know, we think we have some tools, some kids to work with. And now we just got to figure out what we're great at, and we're going to try to really accentuate that.
I think I've talked to 4 players already, and each one of them has mentioned the off-the-field aspect of this as well, and the discipline in the classroom, and how important that is to the culture. Talk about that if you could.
Well, you know, here's reality, okay? Every kid's not going to make it to the NFL. And we have an obligation with these kids to really help them utilize this 4-year experience to set them up for the next 40 or 50 years of their lives. And if we're not doing that, then we're really using these kids, and that's not fair. And there's places out there that allow kids to not really grow as people. They push them and challenge them as football players and hold them accountable for those aspects of their lives, but off the field, you know, they can kind of go and live pretty loosely and make mistakes. And, you know, our job as a coaching staff is, you know, hey, we want to be a part of every aspect of these kids' lives, enhancing it, making them better people, really, you know, making sure they have a great 4-year experience here, but then ultimately when they leave here, they have a chance to go on and be successful. They have a chance to go out and be employed and be great husbands, fathers, employees, and that's really been our mantra, and the kids have been really receptive to that. I think they appreciate that. Now, it's not all the time fun. You know what I mean? Kids don't all the time want to do the right things, but they understand that, you know, we've been really diligent. Our message is not changing. We're not going to back off. You know, we want our kids to learn how to work and compete in every aspect of their lives, not just on the gridiron. And that's in the classroom, that's in the study hall, it's in the weight room, it's on the practice field. It's not just the game field on Saturdays. So we're excited about really the direction our kids are heading right now. And it shows, you know, I don't know how much information is out about our kids' GPAs and how much they've jumped since we've been here in January, but leaps and bounds. And I think that it's going to carry over on the field for us is our expectation.
And back on the field, you have players who weren't recruited to the system necessarily. You've got to meld them and put them into and make them fit. How do you feel? You've only had a spring practice. You're getting ready for fall. How do you feel about how this team will fare with new, a little bit of new direction, so to speak?
Well, you know what? I mean, you know, gosh, when there's a transition, people talk about you know, kids being the last staff's players and not recruited by us. These are all our kids, okay? Every kid I coach in the offensive line is one of mine. And, you know, our job as coaches is to go out and find what our kids do well. You know, that's what they pay us for. It's not to draw a bunch of X's and O's on the board and go out there and try to put in 2 million plays and they all look great on paper, and then you realize, oh, this kid can't do that. You find what your kids can do, and that's what fall camp's about. It's about teaching our guys how to compete, how to study film, how to really approach the game and take care of their bodies, and then put them in position to go and be successful on Saturdays. And so that's what, you know, our challenge is going into fall camp. You know, is we have some ideas of things we want to do. You know, we want to teach a scheme. We want to put our kids in position to understand those things. But ultimately, when it comes down to putting your plays on a game plan and get on a bus and go play somewhere, you want to know that your plan can be executed to the, you know, to the utmost degree.
And last question, expectations at JMU this season. This is a program that's had so much success over the years, the last few years. Maybe not quite the final level of success, but what can the expectations be for fans this year?
What I can tell you is we fully expect to put a product on the field that our fans will be proud of. And what I mean by that is, you know, our head coach is not done, and neither will I. We don't promise wins and losses. What I can tell you, if someone comes into the stadium and gets a chance to watch James Madison play, we hope you walk out of here saying, my gosh, those kids play really, really hard.